rundown.
Oh, we're very showbiz. We've been in, where have we been? California in the United States. Let's go to Sydney, Australia now. Davis Fang joins us. Good morning. Evening.
Good morning, everyone.
Good. Hello,
morning,
lovely shirt.
Oh, wow.
Lovely shirt.
Thank you. Love your shirt as well.
Oh, thank you very much indeed.
God, you guys.
So, Davis, I'm sorry I've been away on holiday, but obviously tech very busy at the moment. Now,
it definitely has been.
My understanding is Apple is going to announce a first MacBook Pro refresh. The first one, what, in 2 years?
Yes, definitely. So, quite possibly the most exciting thing that's happened so far in the tech in 2023, in the tech sphere at least, is the new M2 MacBook Pro. So last year, Apple got a lot of tech analysts very concerned because it was the first time in over 20 years that Apple had not released a new Mac in the holiday quarter. Completely shocking, I know, as there had been rumors of a refresh of a new MacBook Pro, new iMac, Mac Minis for a while, but there was absolutely no news at all. But not to worry, because we now know what's happened. It's because they've decided to push the launch of the new MacBook Pros and Mac Minis to the first quarter. And the MacBook Pro is the most exciting thing for me because I've, of course, ordered one. The MacBook Pro 14 and 16 remain largely the same as they did in 2021, but they've been refreshed with the new processors, the M2 Pro and Max, which both are absolutely insane. You can spec up to 96 gigabytes of RAM. The CPUs are up to 20% faster, GPUs 40% faster, and it's just insane, really. 22 hours of battery life as well, just literally all day.
Renee, how's your CPU? Is it?
It needs a refresh.
It does. I think it does too. So Davis, I mean, put it in lay language. Why are we excited about a MacBook Pro being refreshed?
Yes, so basically, these MacBook Pros are everything that people have been asking for. So we got the new screens 2 years ago. We got the return of many ports. And finally, with these M2 Macs, they're faster than ever. Especially the battery life. I imagine that 22 hours is more than enough for anybody. But these are quite a bit more expensive than they were before.
Well, I was going to ask, how much are they?
The cheapest one is £2,149, but if you want to spec it out all the way up to almost £7,000 for a laptop.
Oh,
yeah, that's a little bit silly.
Or, you see, I'd drop it. I would drop it.
I think I'd take the laptop over a holiday.
You take the laptop over a holiday?
That's just me.
Right, okay. So that's the first MacBook Pro since 2021, the first refresh. And yes. Will users really notice a difference then? Obviously, the battery life, you talk about 22 hours, but will you notice it in terms of processing speed?
Yeah, I think compared to the previous one, at least, no, it's definitely not worth it. A 20% increase is definitely not really noticeable for the average person. But I'd say that these are more geared towards those who have 4 or 5 year old MacBooks, in which case these Apple Silicon Macs especially would just be a tremendous upgrade in both performance and also battery life.
Interesting. What's next?
What's next? I'm also particularly excited for the new Apple HomePod this year. So the HomePod was Apple's smart speaker. It was discontinued 2 years ago due to a lack of sales, but now it's returned and I am so excited. But it's left a few people quite baffled because it is literally the same thing. So Apple failed with this super expensive smart speaker. It was £320 2 years ago. And now they've returned with literally the same thing. I mean, has Apple admitted defeat? Is this just going to be a niche product?
So this is Alexa
we don't know.
by Apple.
So yeah, right. So Renee's trying to work out what. Right. So it's an Alexa by Apple.
Yeah.
Does it have
new version? It's got Siri, not Alexa.
Oh yeah.
And the new version costs just £299. So much more affordable, isn't it?
But it's much more, isn't it? Much more than an Alexa.
Yes, you can get an Alexa from around, I don't know, 30 quid, but these do have much better sound quality. The Alexa equivalent probably is a HomePod Mini, which now costs £99 instead of $89 as well. So there's been price rises across the board.
So perhaps you could put this to bed. Why would you go for an Alexa-based speaker, or why would you actually go towards an Apple one? What's the difference? Is it the operating systems that you're used to?
Well, I'd personally say that it depends on what ecosystem ecosystem you've got. So if you're an Apple user, you'd probably want to skew towards Siri. If you're more of an Android user, Alexa and Google might be more for you. But for me personally, it's the sound quality. Apple's speakers just seem to have much better sound quality than its competitors, but again, you do pay for it.
You certainly do. Right, okay, then Samsung have also been releasing new smartphones, or at least we believe that we've seen some leaks of what they're going to release.
Correct. So Galaxy Unpacked is the biggest Samsung event of the year. It's basically what all Android fans wait for. It's basically the event where they announce their flagship phones for the year, and this year is going to be the Galaxy S23. It's happening February the 1st, and it's the first in-person event in 3 years, so everyone's very excited. And as usual, the phones have actually leaked, so we know exactly what's going to be unveiled. But unfortunately, it does look to be basically identical to last year's phones. On the Ultra version, though, we do know that it's going to have a 200 megapixel camera instead of 108. And if you ask me, that's just way too many to fit on a tiny little phone sensor. It's probably going to be pretty terrible in low light, but I guess we'll see. We also know that it's going to have the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon Series 8 Gen 2 processor, but that's quite unexpected. And the screen's also going to be much brighter at 2000 nits.
Rennie felt it was very unexpected.
That is great to know. And it's also going to have around a £50 price increase up to $11.99 for the Ultra version.
So just in terms of these phones, you're saying that there isn't really any discernible difference, or they are worth the money?
I'd say year to year, there's basically no discernible difference. So again, this is probably aimed at people who've got a phone that's maybe 3 or 4 years old, in which case this would make a fantastic upgrade. But if you've got last year's one, yeah, probably don't go for it.
Interesting. Now, this next thing I think is very interesting, isn't it? A health device.
Yes, it's a very special health device. So this year, we've already had CES, which is the biggest tech conference of the year. And my favorite item from, I would have to say, is the Withings U Scan, which is a urine sampling health sensor so that you can monitor your urine at home. Because I'm sure that one of the least pleasant things that a lot of people do is go to their GP and have, and take a urine sample, because it's a bit awkward. You have to fill it up in the little jar. It's unpleasant and probably a little bit undignified. So this allows you to sample your pee at home.
Wow. So I have to tell you, I'm watching this with my mouth open. It sits in the toilet, does it? And then it's a connected device.
Yes, they call it a new era for urine analysis. It basically allows women to track their monthly hormonal fluctuations straight from their phones, and it can also tell you to drink more water or to make changes to your diet. But as interesting as this is, I would love to hear what two doctors think about it, because this might be a groundbreaking device.
Well, I think I would have to look into more what you can actually ascertain from metabolites that are excreted, because the reason we're excreting them is because we don't need them anymore, generally. Certainly things like infection, sugar, dehydration. And I think the next thing is...
Hematuria? Blood?
Hematuria, yes, true, all of those things. So those are important.
Those are important.
And I think that with anything that advances our health, then yes, I would welcome it. I've got a little mini ECG machine in my purse, which literally fits on the back of my phone, that can tell me if a patient's in AF or has a bad arrhythmia. Yeah, it's brilliant. So I think all of these things should be welcomed. I think the thing that we have to watch is how general public interprets them and what to do with them.
And also, I think over-medicalising the public as well is also a problem, because then you get the worried well, don't you?
Yeah.
I think I like it. I mean, I'd like to see more data on it, but I think it's a really clever idea. The fact is that you have devices monitoring your medical health the whole time. I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Definitely, but however, it's not yet approved by the FDA, and it will, however, be available in Europe in Q2 of this year. What's quite interesting for me, at least, the battery lasts 3 months, but you have to charge it via USB, so that might be a little bit icky to do.
You just put me off now.
Not wireless charging. Surely we've moved on.
Yeah, surely not. And you have to fish around for it.
You need to fish it from the loo and then wipe it down and then plug it in.
Oh no,
it sounds a little bit disgusting to me.
You've lost me now.
Yeah, we're not keep. You can keep your urine sample. And then, so Amazon Ring, this is the doorbell thing.
Yes.
There's something new from them, isn't there?
Yes, they definitely have. So if you want a flying robotic security drone that patrols your phone, Amazon has the answer for you. It's called the Amazon Ring Always Home. And it's basically a little drone that flies around patrolling your home. And it was unveiled 2 years ago, but it's only just made its first public appearance at CES this year. However, the delay, they say, is because it struggled so far to work reliably in homes that contain mirrors and windows. So if you've got a windowless home, this is the gadget for you.
Do you know a home that doesn't have windows?
Called a prison cell.
Sure. It relies on LiDAR technology, so that's why it gets a little bit confused. But apparently they'll sort out all of the glitches before the end of the year, and there'll be a wider release in 2024. And it'll cost $250.
How much?
$250.
So hang on a minute. Why do I want a flying drone in my house? Why wouldn't you just have normal security cameras?
Why wouldn't
So they
you
provided a few examples of like why you'd want to use it. Just say that you've left, I don't know, your iron on, and you don't have a camera specifically on your iron, and you want to go and fly and check. There's stuff like that. And apparently it's loud enough to so that intruders can hear it buzzing around, and they'll be terrified and leave your home at once.
I can just see this being used badly by people, can't you?
Just maybe. But you know, if it's going to crash into walls, maybe we've got nothing to fear. Really.
Well, that's lucky I don't have windows in my house.
David is on day release. He goes back to prison after we finish.
I go and lie in a dark room. Davis, always lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. That's
Real
Davis
pleasure.
Fang,
Thank
our
you.
tech presenter, and that was Tech Rundown.
Tech Rundown.
What kind of house doesn't have windows? A cell.
My mum has just texted to say that she wants Davis's shirt.
Oh, I thought she wanted the drone.
No, she wants the shirt.
Oh, okay.
The shirt off his back.
Oh, right. I'm sure he'll oblige. He's that kind of boy. Right, after the